centuries, whose reign as grim lord of the dead came to a sudden end when all at once his past caught up with him. But gods do not go quietly, and history repeats. So this tale was only a matter of time.
Death to Chronos. Death to Chronos. I'll see to that. No one is more prepared. Beyond the mists of Erebus, there should be a way down. Too risky heading through Elysium, and too risky to stay. All right, it's time.
Boo! Who dares disturb my eternal rest? You trifle with powers far beyond your comprehension, witch. Speak!
That was pretty decent, right, Mel? Maybe pushing it. Okay if I call you witch like that?
Which worked for me in context, and a solid haunting all in all, Dora. But I'd better run. Something I have to do.
Then be gone.
This old unfinished painting. Don't look away. Don't forget all that the Titan took from you.
4-star hand, Millenoi. Nary a soul expected you to slay our enemy last night, on a new moon, no less. But you accomplished something of great import.
I lack such forgiveness for my failure, Headmistress Hecate. The Titan yet lives, and Olympus yet burns, while I'm back where I started. What is it I accomplished?
You're here to speak of it. Recovered in body, if not in spirit. You've not failed, merely begun. Thus may you learn, grow stronger, and complete your task. Death to Chronos.
Death to Chronos.
You hit a wall. Knocked your scrawny ass all the way back here. It's insane that she's sending you out on foot, all on your own.
Your skepticism's duly noted.
Killed the bastard. Drove your staff into his wretched skull, slid a dagger in his gut. Not that he died from that. Works on mortals, though.
I've nothing to report, Odysseus. Not yet.
Well, you'll get him next time, I reckon.
We'll find a way to wake you, O sleep. I promise.
Attention! Allay your fears. She has returned. A battle lost. But this is war, young one, and you have many battles yet to come. The only question is, are you prepared to win? I'm not so sure here, so let's see you give me 20!
Of my father's brothers, aren't you? Then help him. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
My long-lost niece, you live! We thought you met the same fate as your father, and your mother, and your brother. Oh. Well, how about we turn the tide and exact terrible revenge for poor old Hades and his kin?
A scourge upon your bloodline for resummoning me, witch!
Hey, everything okay there, Mel?
Oh, yes, Dora. It's just... I should have gone farther that time. I'll give more notes on your haunting later, all right?
At least our cauldron's finally purified, praise the fates. Speaking of which, are you as yet considering an invocation to them? I have my doubts that they would listen even now.
If there's any chance the three fates shall aid us, I'll take it. Thank you for preparing things for me. Though I'm well short of freshly picked reagents still.
I'd offer such reagents if I could, but as you venture past this glade, look carefully along your path and you shall find them. Fate's willing.
Yes,
Getting nowhere. I should be out there fighting, not standing watch over a place nobody comes to uninvited. Damn it.
I think the circumstances justify heightened security around here. But if you don't, go take it up with the headmistress, not me.
Good witch gets there knows you've a mountain of a journey ahead of you, Goddess. You hear about our mountains on the surface? Big, tall rocks?
What do you mean, like Mount Olympus or Mount Othries? Of course I've heard of them. They reach up to the sky. I can only imagine.
You look up from the base to the peak, you'll swear they can't be climbed. But if you only concern yourself with making that next step, you'll make it to the top.
Mistress told me so much about you, and now at last we meet. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
You look just like your mother. I'll not lose her again. I shall freeze hell in its entirety if that is what it takes to get her back. You'll help me, won't you, granddaughter?
Ever think maybe we're just not cut out for this, Mel? Me with the haunting, you with the... What are you trying to do again?
Find the Titan of Time. Punish him for his crimes against my family. Restore the rightful ruler of the underworld. Hey, you're cut out for haunting, Dora.
Oh, thanks. Just like I'm sure you're cut out for all that other stuff.
For your family awaits you far below. I'm certain they would be proud of what you have become. Bear them in your heart when you strike.
Headmistress, I'll bear them in my heart, but I have no memory of them. How could I? You're the one who's always been there for me.
Oh, don't say such things. I am not your mother, Millennium. So much she could have taught you. I cannot. Never compare us.
Multiple reports the armies of Chronos are massing on the surface up there, and not yet caught wind of your efforts. At least you aren't contending with them, eh?
My route through the underworld is fraught in its own right, but yes, it's comforting to know that army of traitors remains ignorant of me.
There's not a downward route that's more discreet. Those thorny chaps in the woods, they've no love for Chronos either, at least.
I'll get past them.
Now watching being a...
We are the unseen, at one with the darkness and the dead. I can evade anything, yes, but only for a moment, and even then, I can't prevail by dodging all night long.
Yeah, I'd do it all the time if I was you. See the little trail when you dash? Once it snaps back, you're good to go again.
The shadow follows. Mistress, if I may, what is it that you and Master Odysseus are planning? He's always with his charts and diagrams.
Odysseus considers our plan of attack, yours more specifically. He plots a course from the nearest underworld entrance to Olympus.
The surface? I'm to attack Olympus? When? How?
Attack, defend, 'tis all the same. Patience, Millennium. As you observed, we are still working through some of the details.
But...
Not going to help you, you know. The Fates, I mean. They don't take pity on whoever asks. If anything, you'll make things even worse.
Maybe you just don't give your sisters enough credit. If they once aided my brother, then there has to be a chance they'll aid us. They have a stake in this too.
What, you mean their family? They couldn't care less. Too busy messing with everybody's lives, making it look like an accident.
You mustn't speak of them that way.
Thorny chaps you've been dealing with. Their numbers grow in each report I get. If you've thoughts on how we could have better prepared you...
I'll share my thoughts when necessary, Odysseus. For the moment, I'm sorting through them still.
Aye, best not to speak without prepared remarks. I understand the feeling only too well. You'll keep me posted, though.
I will.
There she is at the craft you seek to master takes its toll. But not for long. Your magic power's gonna come right back by the time you get to the next place you're going. So use it. No point bottling it up.
Well, thought I finally had the place to myself the next I know you're back. Damn near scared me to life. Rough night again?
Rough night, Dora. Fear not, you'll have the tent to yourself yet.
Yeah, you too.
Troubles you, Malinois. Your brow is furrowed, not with fierceness, but with doubt. The one emotion we cannot afford.
Headmistress, it's just... I'm struggling to muster the rage I should feel. I'm tasked with slaying a Titan I do not even know, to avenge a family I cannot remember.
Your feelings never lie to you. 'Tis their origins that may deceive. You feel no rage? Then you are in control. Tell me, do you question the need to complete our task?
No, Headmistress. Treachery against the House of Hades cannot go unpunished.
Just so. Center yourself on that.
Failed attempt. About ready to give in? You don't have the fire. This isn't personal enough for you.
Isn't personal? You don't see my mother around either, do you, Nem? Nor my father, nor my brother. Chronos took them all.
I lost more than my mother, too. And I knew mine. What's yours to you? All you ever did was fall out of her womb.
This has been in an especially foul mood of late. Anything I should know about?
I was going to ask you the same. She sought my task, but that's nothing new. Though she's been clashing with Headmistress more and more.
Shame it's been this way. Personally, I'd rather have divine retribution with me than against. I reckon you can't just smooth things over with her, can you?
I have my doubts.
And that concludes our lesson for today. All your training's gonna be for naught if you don't use it in a fight. Say I'm chasing after you with a club and you want to get me to stay put. Let's see you cast a circular binding over here.
Not gonna lie, Mel, sometimes I wish I had a big important task. And not that floating isn't one.
You know my stance on this, Dora. You need to get out of this tent. You're very talented. I've never met a shade that speaks like you.
Ooh, I can talk. Makes me so special. I'm sure any lowly shade could do it after being stuck here listening to you people long enough. I was fed up with just warbling, so I learned to sound it out, I guess.
I'm glad you did.
How fares the task thus far, Malinois? Our enemy yet remains indisposed with more pressing matters. The time to strike at him is now.
There is much left to do, Headmistress. You must know that. How much time do I have?
Who can say? Our enemy is time itself. Time's passage seems to bear little meaning anymore. Do not rush needlessly. The task will only take longer that way.
I'll do my best. Said to me before about my mother. That was very cruel.
Fair enough. Can't kill each other here, but we can use our words. If we were fighting for real, I wouldn't have held back either.
I figured not.
Listen, as though you still had lives that depended on it. You getting a handle on that walking stick of yours? There's other stuff you might like better in the puddle back there if you got the silver for it. Just be sure to try it all out on me.
You mustn't speak ill of Discura, sir. I thought the fire goddess never got involved. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Well, look at you, hot stuff. Come to help the elderly. Oh, what a good girl you are. And here I was, just about to burn this whole blasted place to the ground myself. Now, here's a little warm-up for ya.
Just a spell. It's just another spell. 10 words. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Greetings from Olympus and well met there, Sunshine. Look, we can't get to the Titan, but if you truly mean to stop him, then the least I can do is light your way down.
Anyway, I was certain you were gone. Scarce born, only to be taken by Chronos, along with my daughter and those nearest her. But the Witch of the Crossroads got you out of there, did she? How could she not send word?
I'm in your debt, Lord Charon. These provisions surely shall make all the difference in my task. What gold I find is yours. Headmistress.
There she is. Welcome to the edge of Erebus. Well done, Millenoi.
Thank you, Headmistress Hecate. I could not have reached this point without your guidance.
And in turn, you shall not pass this point without a demonstration of your capability.
My capability? You'd have us face each other here, even though my task has already begun.
Your training shall never be complete. And I would know if you stand any chance at all against our enemy. Enough! You fought with diligence and with ferocity, but surely there is more for you to learn beyond this threshold.
I look forward to it, Headmistress. What about you? Can you not join me?
No, I dare not stray too far from our abode. Continue now your task. I shall await your safe return.
Thank you, Headmistress. Long has it been? 3, 2, 1.
It is the dead of night within a haunted, barely moonlit thicket at the underworld's edge. There, a young forsaken princess hunts her prey.
Ready or not, hence I go. I bid you farewell for now, Lord Hypnos.
The keen-eyed princess finds a set of tracks, suggesting that her foe trod through this dusty ground not very long before.
Shush, Homer. How shall I ever catch her if you're going to describe my every move?
I've no idea to whom you refer, to whom the Princess of the Dead refers, as she continues on her fateful search.
Quit teasing me and help me look.
You'll find her yet.
Odysseus, have you seen Hecate about?
Not in a little while, little goddess. Though I'd expect that pointy hat of hers to give her away.
I'll look for it. Thank you.
Well, she's got to be around here somewhere, little goddess.
There. Got you, Hecate. You're dead.
Got me, you did, Millenoi. But I dare say I can escape your clutches yet.
Shades, is Hecate about? Not seen her, huh? Over there. There you are. Got you again.
Ah, so persistent. Give up already, witch. For I'm a Titaness. You cannot vanquish me.
I can and shall. I got you. Hecate? What's the matter?
It's merely that I've not heard your laughter before. Reminded me of your mother. A much preferable sound to that of grief.
I promise not to cry again. I still get sad sometimes, but not as much.
Do not make promises you cannot keep. When tears well up, let them spill forth. They're not so precious that they need be contained.
But you never cry, Hecate. And I wish to become strong like you. so that I might find Chronos and destroy him for what he's done. And then you could hear my mother's laugh again.
And I shall do everything in my power to prepare you, so that you may succeed where I failed. If not for your family's sake, then for your birthright, as the princess of the underworld.
What do you mean you failed? You tried to beat Chronos yourself? He hurt you?
Concern yourself with your own pain, not mine. Destroying Chronos shall not change the past, and the pain shall linger, though assert itself less frequently with age. But enough of this. On the morrow, we shall teach you to hunt greater prey.
Truly? Oh, death to Chronos. Laura, don't you pay any attention to what's been happening out there? The rise of the Titan of Time, the siege of Olympus?
Nope, can't say any of that rings a bell. Olympus, that's where the family members you don't like live, right? And the Titan of Time, I get that he's bad, but he's never done anything to me personally as far as I know, so.
This entire encampment exists to resist his efforts to overthrow the gods and rule the world?
Well then, maybe I should thank him because I happen to like this encampment.
Oh, shush.
About? The good witch there noted you were able to vanquish her in a full-on contest. Impressive stuff. You get much farther?
I did. Down to the chambers near the bottom of the sea. Strange music echoing all through the place. I wasn't prepared.
Strange music, huh? Reminds me of when... Oh, I'll spare the tales for another time. You've enough on your mind, I can tell.
Passed her little test that time. Must have felt so good beating her ass to the ground. Don't get to spar with her, so I can only imagine.
We're not just sparring. You don't know our craft.
I know I could take her.
That haven hidden twixt the surface and the underworld conceals those still loyal to Lord Hades, rightful ruler of the dead.
Together we'll retake my father's realm.
Grown quick, young one. Real quick. Would that I too could dash so fast as to become untouchable or sprint as fleetly as a she-wolf or something. Give me a couple of laps.
Doubtless this one knows hatred, not just love. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Why, hello, gorgeous. You look like you can break some hearts even without my aid. Oh, your brother would be so proud, knowing you're fighting for your kin.
I've much to learn from her, I think.
Near all of the near-endless pathways and suffocating Erebus lead to dead ends, and very scarce are those who can navigate them.
That ought to do it.
Good evening.
It's been too long, sister. Look at you on your great hunt. Not ideal circumstances, but you've finally begun. Know that the family has your back, surprised as they are about this.
No shortage lately of surprises on Olympus or below. It's good to see you, Artemis, but I must be off. Time's against us and all that.
Time's an old fool, too busy besieging the mountain of the gods to sense the threat headed his way. Go get him. For your journey.
You bear the gift of Aphrodite, don't you there? You know, she's much, much older than she looks. Appearances are everything to her. Whilst, as for me, I'm about hotness of a different sort.
Flame of the hearth.
First I heard our last best hope for stopping Chronos was the second-born of Hades and his queen, I said. Wait, ooh, so then they had a girl. The Titan must have struck your father's house right after you were born.
Shades of Erebus find little peace there, save for the prickly embrace of the gnarled branches of those writhing woods.
Am I fighting the spirits or the woods? What's she doing here?
One word of this to Hecate, and you're meat. Got it? Now go on while I take care of things.
This is my task, not yours. And I'm disappointed with your dereliction of duty. Are you so desperate to prove you're superior to me?
You know, maybe I am. So how about this? Got some gold on you, right? Those wretches ought to swarm in any moment. Whoever takes more of them gets the other's coin. What do you say?
Must it always be a wager with you?
Better odds of winning if you shut up and fight. Get your own. Souls fastidious.
Got you.
Ugh, surprised you didn't bail out with that return trick of yours.
You don't know anything about me. What are you thinking being this far from your post, in violation of Headmistress Hecate's direct orders?
I'm thinking you don't have what it takes to take the Titan down. I do. Now get out of here.
Yes, my lord. I met Apollo, Grandmother, Uncle Poseidon. I've known Artemis and Hermes for so long. I'm impressed they kept my secret from the others all this time.
Used to think your Lord Uncle Poseidon was a rude and useless elf. But after having seen his fighting prowess in this war firsthand, I've come to realize how wrong I was. He isn't useless in the least.
Thank you, Aphrodite, for I know how challenging it is for you to fathom the totality of my strength. As let's face it, you're not exactly the goddess of wisdom, nor am I. And we have all the common ground in the beauty of the sea.
My heart.
Greetings, witch.
I'll get him, Headmistress. I swear it. All that you've taught, I'll bring to bear. And no matter the obstacles that stand in the way, Chronos shall fall by my hand.
I require no convincing, Millennial, although perhaps you do. However much I've taught, what's important is you're a capable student.
Pray, who might you be, my girl? And what compelled you to wander in and out of Erebus?
I'm not your girl, old man. My name and business are not your concern.
So it seems. You appear to be quite pressed for time. Forgive this old man his transgressions.
Couldn't have been.
That which slithers, seeps and crawls, all of it thrives within the foul air and crushing climate near the bottom of the sea.
The air is definitely stuffier down here.
Oh, no way. No way. Look at Gal's a lady. Ladies never come to see our shows. You must be different. What's your name? Oh, make yourself comfy. We're just about to start, aren't we, gals?
Sirens. I should have known you were the source of all that singing. Slinked down into the underworld, have you?
It's the perfect pressure down here. Beats the pressure trying to make art while all our fans are watching, begging, Skilla, where's your next soul?
Don't you drown your so-called fans to death? Have you even got any left?
Oh, don't ever say such things about our fans. Oh, hey, gals, what say we give her the old song and dance?
The modestly appointed tent of fierce Princess Millennium nonetheless is dutifully organized and immaculately clean.
I won't live in squalor.
You're up. You were out a while. See anything good down there that time?
I fought past Erebus down into Oceanus. It was so strange being underneath the sea. Do you remember the sea, Dora?
The sea. That's the thing with all the water in it, right? I heard it's nice sometimes. Also kills a bunch of people, death by drowning, so... I've been getting mixed messages, I guess.
It's a big place. Mistress, I found Artemis out there. I'd not expected her so soon, but then, she's quick. Speaking of which, what of Hermes? Any word?
Alas, not yet. However, those two are resourceful and discreet. And Olympus remains none the wiser to our long-standing connection with them, if that is your concern.
My concern is their safety. May Hermes soon discover what exactly Chronos is scheming and return, though I know he can ill afford to wait.
No, we cannot. Hermes convinced me of that.
On your feet again there, Princess? All's well in the crossroads. Nothing to report.
It's fortunate we have you vigilantly keeping watch here, Nemesis. Oh, come on, drop the act. What happened? When did you return?
Don't know what you're talking about, and it's not your business anyway. Fates help you on your task.
Not quite as easy as you imagined, is it? To think that the embodiment of retribution could be so arrogant.
Shut up.
Life have laid down at the bottom of the sea. All sorts of nastiness lurking there, that the reports make clear. I wager you've seen some things.
You'd win that wager handily. The worst of them has to be the sea monstrous called Skilla and a siren friends. They have this ridiculous act.
What, Skilla's still around? With the sirens, no less? It's a wonder you made it back. Now, please tell me you didn't listen to a word they sang.
Oh, I heard an earful.
Understand you ventured to the bottom of the sea. I too have been there in those depths, young one. But once, a while back, and briefly, I might add.
Of course. You were a famous mariner in your mortal days. But then you finally met your end beneath the waters upon which you sailed?
Not.
Deviated from her path. Great Titaness, the Eye of Night. I draw you down. Lend me your might.
Good evening to you, little star. Our cycles now are intertwined, as I no longer can afford merely to watch. Whichever threat we face, I vow to shine for you.
Do bide your time, Sunshine. The Titan thinks he has us pinned, but we have the situation here under control. Just locked in a bit of a stalemate is all.
Takete's your teacher, is that it? Known her since I was probably your age. Right proper dame. Been far too long since last we saw each other, come to think. What can you do? She hates everybody, I hate everybody.
Missed all the fun. But at least you won't have to get your hands dirty this time.
Nemesis, what are you doing here? Who's standing watch at the crossroads?
They'll manage. I'm on break. Tell Hecate you saw me, you'll regret it. And you're welcome here and safe, seeing as I cleared the path for you.
I don't need your aid in this, other than the responsibilities you've already been assigned.
Really? Look like you could use all the aid you can get. Here's something for your trouble. Then I suggest you move along.
Oh! What are you doing here? Besides tramping all over my webs, that is. Oh, it's nothing, silly. I can always make more perfectly good silk. I can't always see you.
Hi, Arachne. Sorry about all this. I think we'll soon be seeing more of one another now. My task has begun.
Truly. Why then, I'll get out of your hair. You have to go. But first, you have to try on one of these. And don't worry about any wear and tear. I've plenty more in stock.
Ahead, the underworld princess shall again confront the one who raised her, and taught to her the means by which she may prevail.
There's always more to learn.
You are. A flash of silver, limb and auros. So, the sister blades have veiled themselves, do you? The other nocturnal arms shall follow their lead, I expect.
Nyx entrusted them to you to safeguard the realm as a last resort. But this cannot possibly be how they were meant to be used.
And why ever not? To safeguard the realm, you shall have to clear a wide variety of obstacles standing in your way. I am but one. You have survived against me, and for that, you're owed a gift. May you learn well through it, Millenoi.
The Book of Shadows.
The fire-stepping princess stands alone.
You have returned, or lost your way, perhaps, in those interminable passageways beyond.
I know where I'm going. Whom do I address? And what are you doing here yourself in such a place?
My name and business are not your concern. Is that not what you said? Ah, the impertinence of the youth of this age.
Wait.
Already, Jill. I know who you are. I know where you go. You shall not get there.
This magic. Chronos. I'll carve you limb from limb for this. For everything.
How frightening. Unfortunately, we shall never know if yours was a mere empty threat, for you are going on a little time out, at least until some other matters are resolved.
No.
All of this tainted gold. You'll see that it's disposed of properly, Lord Charon. I long to see that day.
An ever-present song compels the nightmare-bringing princess ever forward, towards the beauty, deeper into the abyss.
It's very pretty.
You again. I knew it. She's come back. You ready for another show, lady? We've been rehearsing our material, practicing non-stop, because one day I'm gonna be a star. Oh, me and the gals.
What do your musical ambitions have to do with unprovoked acts of violence against me?
She's just heckling us gals. Ignore her and take it from the top. 2, 3, 4!
Underworld. I regret having to contact you at such a time. It's not my custom to intervene during moments of doom, only to observe.
Moments of doom. You're Lord Moros, emissary of the Three Fates.
They expected me to find you, for there's something they intend for you to have. Wherever you're going, look for it when you arrive. I'm uncertain if we'll meet again. Farewell. It's been an honor.
Wait. He's gone. Couldn't help but notice that my jar collection wasn't sorted properly. I would never store fungus with herbs. Are you trying to subtly drive me mad?
No. Although now that you put it that way, maybe in the future, yes. I was working on minor possessions and your mushroom bottle kind of slipped. So I put it back.
You put it incorrectly back. Just tell me of such things next time, would you?
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
I saw him, Chronos. First beyond Erebus in the guise of an old man. He then attempted to ensnare me in some vision out of time. The river aflame. Everything ablaze.
Still, your heart, Millenoi, you're safe. And you were able to return again, which means that all your training served you well.
So he claims. I broke free from his spell like it was second nature, but neither could I raise a hand against him. What must I do now?
Nothing has changed. You're to confront him down where he resides, where your mother and father rightly ought to be. But go with patience, not with haste. He may know something of your power now, yet not.
Yes, Headmistress.
As though you've seen a ghost, if you'll forgive the very antiquated mortal turn of phrase, Goddess. So we'd say to someone looking disconcerted. Things all right?
Yes and no. I saw Chronos out there. I thought he had me, but I broke free from his spell. This was in Oceanus, though I also caught him snooping near the pathways out of Erebus.
Damn it. Our reports said nothing of the sort, but then some of our shade informants haven't yet returned. We had expected Chronos to stay put in the lowest reaches. You must have caused enough of a stir to catch his notice.
I've hardly been discreet in my approach. Is there truly no other way?
We reckon not. We're counting on him thinking you're inconsequential to his plans. As for our own, I shall go over this with the good witch. Be safe, and cheers for the report.
Of course.
Not even the wiles and stratagems of that resourceful sack of cities, Odysseus, may be sufficient to overcome the Titan of Time.
They say never to underestimate that man.
Come on. How have you lately fared against the lurkers and the serpents all that way down in the watery depths? Knowing of them and squaring off against them are two very different things.
They're significantly stronger than the lost souls lingering around here. And they have no sense of fear at all, attacking without any hesitation.
They're basically just walking fish, young one. Not much for conversating, but they'll stick you with a trident just fine. Don't you let them.
I won't.
The crossroads training grounds are watched over by fearless seafarer Skelemius, famed in death as he was famed in life.
We cannot fail with such a genius on our side. King of the gods must have his hands full recently. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Ah, young lady, so we meet at last. Emerged from all that gloom to help us settle an old score. If you possess your father's strength, then we have the advantage. Let us strike.
Lord Uncle's Titan-killing strength.
Not even those with the power to enter the crossroads at will can entirely anticipate which of its 3 hidden paths shall be their exit.
I'd not expected this one. Are you down, O Moon? Lend me your light.
Now that Artemis has revealed to Olympus what they need to know of you, she had pretext to return to your woods. But your reunion needed to be brief. Once our troubles have subsided, may we Silver Sisters meet together and rejoice.
Hey, Mal. I was just floating. Floating around, I guess. And existing. Just kind of existing a lot lately.
Failing, making progress, I don't know. Speaking of, shouldn't you be practicing your haunting, Dora?
Oh, yeah, no, I thought maybe I'd take a break from that. Why do now what you could do later, right?
For the sense of accomplishment?
Last wheel of the 3 fates, those reclusive determiners of all that is to come, is now under the Princess of the Underworld's care.
With their aid, we may have a chance. This is from the 3 fates. A prophecy concerning doom. I have to find Lord Moros once again and call him here.
Fates indulged you after all. That is their scroll beside your tent. It followed you out of the shadows. Perhaps it can provide some answers.
Would that it does. The fated list has tasked me with ensuring certain minor prophecies are fulfilled, though says little else as yet.
May it reward your efforts at least. But do not expect the fates to always favor you. The bane of our enemy is not necessarily our friend.
We'll have to take our chances.
After ever-scheming Chronos claimed the House of Hades, shades of the dead residing there, all scattered to the ends of the earth.
You shades are welcome here and safe. Does Headmistress know yet of your little excursions? Not much escapes her notice last I checked.
Strongly advise you mind your own responsibilities. Hecate doesn't control me, and you should show a little gratitude.
For what? Endangering us all? I didn't ask for your assistance, Nemesis.
Because you're weak.
How's Nemesis been faring out there? Taking matters into her very capable hands. Not making too much grief for you, I hope.
So you know already. And Headmistress must too. Nemesis is being Nemesis. Discovering firsthand our task is not as simple as it seems.
Say no more then. Though if she becomes too intent on impeding your results over achieving her own, we'll step in.
It won't come to that.
Since and the smoking stuff from that altar of ashes over there, it's energized the shades about this place. And me as well.
I'm pleased to hear it, Commander. Even a brief visit to the altar on a given night helps make me feel more prepared.
Keep doing what you're doing over there.
Embark on your fateful voyage yet again, my niece. I have something for you. The newfangled boons we offer haven't always swept you off your feet, but we have older, sometimes stronger blessings too.
Through divination of the elements, I see it now. And draw you down.
We have heard nothing from fleet-footed Hermes since he told us of our enemy's advance. Thus we strike, yet hold to faith that some night hence he shall return to us with news about what else the Titan Chronos has in store. The choice is yours.
Gold in the underworld, right?
Lord Charon's going to...
Think I can do the same if you want to make a deal. Don't worry, any gold I get from you.
I'll take it.
It's a deal. Bye.
Artemis first told me your tale, I figured it was just one of her pranks. Taking on the Titan yourself, come on. But it did sound like something a vengeful child of Hades might attempt.
Arachne, the outfit you wove for me was so beautiful. I'm sorry to say I got into a bit of a scrape or two, and I'm afraid it didn't survive.
Oh, that's quite all right, silly. It wasn't made to last. What is? It was made to be in the moment with you. Now here, I've plenty more.
The intricately woven spider silk ensconcing the environs of one gloom-filled recess within Erebus rivals in quality even the weavings of the gods themselves.
Arachne knows her stuff.
Been locked in conflict with Chronos for so long that we've begun to doubt that anything can meaningfully change. I wonder, Flower, can you truly rid us of this blight?
I could switch boons. Greater might.
As ever. A chill swept through the air as you approach. Unseasonably cold. Or perhaps it is as Demeter desires. She aids you, does she not?
She does. She knew me for her granddaughter at once. Have you had opportunity to speak with her about me and all that's transpired?
No. I've been a bit preoccupied. At least here, Demeter shall be able to cool her wrath against me for keeping you a secret for... I shall see you at the crossroads anon. I shall be catching there my breath.
For me.
She trained relentlessly for this.
Little one, you seem to know your way around. I am master of this realm, yet even I would never venture into yonder woods. You even found your way back from your detour in Asphodel.
Damn you, Chronos.
The fates cannot help you now. Stop. 'Tis a pity that this granddaughter of mine is both a weakling and a fool, though an elusive one. I ought to thank the fates that we have met at last.
The fates had nothing to do with this. You took my family.
Our family. Make not their same mistakes, and in time, we surely shall grow past this halted start to our relationship. I shall see you later.
Wait! You...
The plunges deeper than the deepest sea, yet there are such places where the edge of one and the other meet.
One dark abyss next to one of your brothers, Lord Charon. It was Moros. He delivered to me a certain artifact, but then was gone. Do you know of the fated list? It's been in my family's care before. So, what of Moros? Where could he have gone in all of this?
My little brother lived up to his shining reputation so far. At least he did his part. As soon as I told him about you, sure enough, he was plenty eager to let all Olympus know.
Apollo was very kind, though easy for me to say. I'm not his twin. What'd you tell him anyway?
Only the truth. That I ran into the reclusive witch of the crossroads while scouting out our foe, and that she introduced me to a secret Titan killer she's been training up.
You just didn't tell him how long ago that was. So now they really think this long-lost relative of theirs is going to find Chronos and slay him.
Oh, they think you don't stand a chance. But they don't have a lot of options, so they'll support you anyway. Especially since you're family and all. And you know I will.
On with the show. You know, I thought the sirens were supposed to be the singing ones. But it's always you flapping your gills at me, Skilla.
Don't listen to her, gals. Your backup vocals are the backbone of this act. I've got the voice, you've got the music, we've got the magic. Let's give her a little taste.
That's quite enough of them. A pearl. Seek there a pathway down.
A seeming endless sprawl grows on the outskirts of the underworld, where forlorn shades attempt to fade away, and doleful spirits prey upon their sorrow.
Such a dreadful place. This one.
It's fortunate the underworld boatman's still plying his trade even during a downturn such as this. I trust his prices have gotten better at least. Or perhaps worse.
Hello? No, heal, stay. 3 heads, you're... Spirits of despair, be gone. Cerberus, it's really you.
Having shed its coat of torment, the soul-devouring infernal beast beyond the gates of Tartarus reveals that it is not the monster it appeared, but one more infamously vicious still.
No, wait, stay.
Legions loyal to the Titan of Time yet guard the underworld's major passageways, but remain unaware of certain secret methods of descending deep into the realm.
Secrets of the
The stately House of Hades now is but a fading memory, for in its place, a new-formed palace rises, twisted into the visage of the world-conquering Titan of Time.
It's hideous.
Much is expected of you. The pressure that you feel, you never speak of it, and yet full well I know it's there. Your constant companion.
I can hardly distinguish between pressure and faith anymore. My entire life has led to this, and all of you are counting on me. Are you truly so certain in my inevitable success, Headmistress?
Pressure and faith are intertwined, 'tis true. Ever in conflict. Should the pressure utterly prevail, out comes despair. Only then do we truly falter.
You didn't answer my question. The combined might of the gods was not enough to stop Chronos before. And you know the fates are unpredictable. My success is not a certainty.
My faith is not in outcomes, 'tis in you. And I've enough of it to last. Should you find yours lacking, I shall always spare you some of mine.
Thank you for believing in me.
Sucking up to the fates actually worked. That big scroll over there, that's really from them.
Personally delivered by Lord Moros, no less. He seemed a little pressed for time, so we didn't get to talk much. Are the two of you close?
We're children of Nyx. None of us are close. But we crossed paths. When certain mortals get what they deserve, it involves us both.
I can only...
Your Olympus-dwelling relatives assisting you, I've half a mind to ask you to let them know I'm on your side, except not all of them love me.
What? But you're the great tactician, Odysseus. Even the gods were impressed with your machinations in your glory days.
Lady Athena and others favored me, it's true, but your Uncle Poseidon, well, I got on his bad side, I believe. Maybe he's let it go after all this time, but that's a risk I'm not prepared to take, so keep quiet about me, would you?
I hear...
Something up with those nocturnal arms of yours. A certain aura that's surrounding one of them. The grave thirst.
A relatively simple incantation. I expected there was more to the connection between Knight's weapons and the dead. No wonder you can see it too.
Come now, not like I need eyes on the back of my cranium, but I can feel it in my bones. Want more bones yourself, just use a weapon with the thirst.
Within the haunted crossroads reside shades and spirits of all sorts, some resembling their mortal selves, and others rendered down to purest essences.
You all right, Homer? Is he going to fit me for a suit of armor? In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
They told me you needed a weapon or something. You already got one. Right, lousy one can spot that piss poor workmanship from here. Though, I could tune it up.
The head wedge isn't busting your chops too bad, is she? What, with you coming back here pretty often lately and all?
I know Headmistress can be very demanding. I'm sure she hopes I would have encountered more success by now, but she's been nothing but patient.
Really? Well, I hope that sticks.
You are required at your post, Nemesis. Or shall you take to openly defying me just as your sister does? I shudder to think what your mother would say of you two.
You have no right to invoke my mother. None of this would be happening had you fulfilled your role as handmaiden and warned her an attack was imminent.
Best watch your mouth or I shall seal it shut. You may continue dwelling on a past you were not witness to, or you may do what is expected of Nyx's daughters. Or whatever Erebus is up to. Your choice.
Hey, Em, I'm back.
You are?
How's things? You good? I'm good, mostly. And good to see your task is underway, but change of plan, though it's a lot to ask. Up for a visit to Olympus sometime soon?
Lord Hermes, just a moment. What do you mean, Olympus? My task is to stop Chronos in the underworld. I can hardly breathe the surface air, much less get to a mountaintop.
Come on, Em, you have your ways. Gramps is up to something bad, more than his usual attack, so just give it some thought. Wouldn't ask if it was nothing, right? Okay, gotta run, and so do you. I'll be in touch by Boone. So long for now.
Goodbye. In the name of Hades. Olympus needs me. On the surface. Now we make haste.
Some spirits of the dead forever wander aimlessly, whilst others, lacking even so much will, merely linger in a single place.
Dora does need—
You know, Mel, you can be a bit uptight sometimes. Where'd you even get that from? Even that witch is more relaxed than you.
Look, I'm under a lot of pressure right now, all right? Everybody's counting on me to literally kill time. So I would like this tent to be an orderly place, seeing as I'm having to return so often.
So what? Killing time's my specialty. Don't see me getting all worked up.
That the possibility exists, yes. Eternal vigilance is near impossible. Enemies have always exploited the lack thereof. I ever tell you of the old wooden horse trick?
The old wooden horse trick, yeah. Surely your reputation as the great tactician hinges on more than this one tale?
But classics ought to be retold. Though, if you'd rather, I have far more tales of trickery and valor. Take the Cave of the Cyclops.
Not Cave of the Cyclops.
He's back, Headmistress. He was able to lend some of his swiftness and also asked that I come to the aid of Olympus. Has the hour grown so desperate up there?
He would not ask otherwise. To be sure, this complicates the task. My view, however, is that you are not yet prepared for the surface. I'll not lift the wards barring that path.
And if I were to lift them myself? I've seen you do it.
Then you'll be more prepared than you are now.
And the smoking stuff from that altar of ashes over there. It's energized the shades about this place. And me as well.
I'm pleased to hear it, Commander. Even a brief visit to the altar on a given night helps make me feel more prepared.
Keep doing what you're doing over there.
When you first told me your tale, I figured it was just one of her pranks. Taking on the Titan yourself, come on. But it did sound like something a vengeful child of Hades might attempt.
Headmistress, if Olympus is besieged, then why am I not permitted on the surface? If I could aid the gods, then they could aid us even more.
Melinoi, however you complete the task is up to you. I have not barred you from the surface. But I caution, if you go, your strength shall fail you. Your birthright is to blame. No fault of yours.
Born in the underworld, and here I'll stay, thank the fates. I don't intend to live up there, Do you know how long I'd even have?
I know your brother and father had a day at best ere they could not stand it any longer. Perhaps you're different, but don't count on it.
A day at best. How long has it been since you visited the surface?
Too long. Cooped up here now in case you hadn't noticed. But it's a lost cause anyway. Why do you ask?
Hermes requested that I pay a visit when I can. Figured I should ask if you had any notes.
It's like I said. The dead are out and about up there thanks to our Titan friend. You'll feel right at home.
So, there's a bit of a new wrinkle in our plans. We've been able to verify some of the details that Master Hermes suggested to you about what's brewing on the surface.
Please tell me what you may. And if you think it wise for me to deviate from my objective to address whatever's going on up there.
The forces of Chronos gather to sail on Olympus through a channel cut across the land. You're poised to disrupt the enemy ranks from within. Aid Olympus, and your chances against Chronos may improve.
The warded pathway leading up should drop me right into the heart of our foe's forward garrison. It seems so reckless.
Call it a calculator.
Could have informed us, informed me, whilst you grew supple and strong in the witch's care. Yet knowing Hecate, she must have deemed the risk too great. I understand. I'll try to understand.
Dora, I was thinking, if I promise not to be so uptight, as you call it, would you promise not to move my belongings about when I'm away?
How dare you make demands of me, you insignificant fleck!
Nope, no deal. Wanna be uptight? Go ahead. Don't stop on my account.
You just want to keep messing with my stuff.
That's right.
You're frustrated, Melinoi. Why can't I simply furnish you with all of the reagents you require? So many incantations you could sooner cast.
I know full well the answer, Headmistress. Your own reagents bring power to your craft, as my own do to mine. Only through the effort of their procurement do they gain their properties.
Just so. At times 'tis quite the pain, admittedly. Yet what is our craft but making our intentions manifest? For which there can be no shortcuts.
No shortcuts. Why not send Nemesis to the surface in my stead? Even if I undo the ward sealing the path, I don't know that I'll last long up there.
The matter on Olympus isn't as personal for Nemesis as it is for you. And she hasn't been especially receptive to suggestion recently.
No, I suppose.
Oh, you're a witch or something, I'm to understand. Then what do you need me for? They have that fancy magic of yours ain't all it's cracked up to be. My work, witchy, is reliable.
The smith. Who in the... What sort of boon is this, in such a place? Well, in the name of Hades, Olympus, are you there?
Olympus cannot hear you, spawn of Hades, but I can. And I have for you a proposition. Assist with a quandary of mine, and benefit. Your response?
Almighty Chaos. I'm honored to make your acquaintance. What sort of quandary would concern the origin of all existence? And how do I fit in?
Time shall tell. But at present I have inferred that your response in essence was affirmative. Thus may our newly formed arrangement prove most interesting. Accept my mark and go. And later I shall open the abyss for you again.
Oh, what gives there, Mel? You look like you've seen a... I don't know, but whatever it was, it got under your skin. Oh, skin seems nice.
I'm all right. Just a little shaken. First nightmare since all this started.
About time, you were past due.
Oh, how scary would you say it was compared to,
The terrifying visage that you see before you now?
Not even close. Last night, Headmistress, I traversed a gate that led me to the depths of chaos, where I met its host. I've heard so much from you of Nyx, yet somehow I never expected to meet her mother and father. Of all creation, not just her.
An audience with primordial chaos. I'd not entirely expected that. Although, given that Nyx herself has not been seen since Chronos took the House of Hades, I am unsurprised. There is no fury like that of a parent bereft of their child. Does chaos seem an ally to us, then?
Hey, where'd Hecuba and Garly scamper off to? I'd ask Headmistress, but she doesn't like it when I show even the slightest concern for her familiars. They're fine, Melinoe.
Well, they probably are fine. Each on a little scouting expedition at my own behest, under the auspices of the Good Witch, of course. The Hound goes one way, the Polecat another.
Those little scouting expeditions always seem to last a while. I'll have to keep an eye out for them then.
Where they're going, they shall appreciate seeing a friendly foe.
Don't worry, you didn't miss much while you were out. A lot of standing around, chanting prayers for your victory and protection. How'd those work out for you, by the way?
Fine, thanks. And your own lack of support is a more significant motivator than you realize.
You know all about lack of support.
The unhappy goddess of comeuppance casts her judging gaze on all within the crossroads, which she safeguards out of duty and of spite.
Don't want to get on them.
What ails you, young one? You have a look of consternation, which mayhaps my breadth of experience could alleviate. Go on, just spit it out.
Oh, Commander. I was just thinking about all the reagents I still need. Some grow in different regions or require different tools. It's a lot to keep in mind.
But you don't gotta keep it all in mind. That purple pack, you carry all your stuff in somehow? Don't you got all your notes in there too? So if you don't remember where to nab something, check there. In fact, why don't you do it now?
I do have notes on everything in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Should be
talking
no
about.
shortage of this on the surface.
He's up to something, but not even Athena knows what. His assaults on Olympus always fail, even if they've kept us occupied. What's his next move?
Everything all right, Dora? Any new hauntings need evaluation or anything?
I'm fine. It's just... I think I've hit a bit of a slump, is all. Happens, right? I'll get over it.
Good.
Let me guess. The Fates have nothing but a bunch of busy work laid out for you. No grand revelations, just odd jobs.
I know better than to question their designs. A minor prophecy fulfilled may result in a greater one coming to pass.
Just keep telling yourself that.
Run into anything bad whilst you're out there, you come talk to me about it. Chances are I've seen it, fought it, otherwise gotten past it, and can offer some advice.
Definitely.
Remember, you were training with an unarmed opponent here, young one. Out there, the skeletons can move. And they'd cut you to ribbons given half a chance. You won't learn to handle that kind of pressure sparring with me.
I understand for me again tonight.
I held to faith your task would not require you above, only below. But Hermes indicates the threat here on the surface now looms larger than we thought. Rise to us then, whenever time permits.
Hey, if I were you, well, come to think of it, I'd do a lot of things. Go for a jog. That seems nice. Having legs, getting the heart rate going, a heart seems nice.
Stop it, Dora. I don't like it when you get like this.
Make something with my hands? I don't know, a cup, a bowl. I'd eat. Eating seems nice. Or even just remembering what that was like.
Take care.
Tactician brings ill tidings with an optimistic bent. Fine. And what news from the men of the Isles, if any yet survive?
According to my confidants, they've all sworn in with Chronos, I'm afraid. Mortals, they often want whatever they don't have. Another golden age in this case. The promise.
'Tis a lie that spares their betrayal rather than a promise. They shall perish then by the wrath of the gods.
And then their wretched souls shall hound us with renewed vengefulness. I've witnessed endless wars before, madam. So have you gods. How can we stop this?
We cannot. Malinoi, however. Certainly you can, correct?
I can and shall.
Path is fraught, young one. Know that I am always here to let you vent all your anger and frustrations upon, as well as to train with.
The greatest teacher.
Right, comparatively speaking, I suppose. After we put the Titans in their place, though, he went down into your underworld and I drifted away like a spark from a flame.
Nothing like a good honest fight to settle a family dispute, eh? Especially productive, seeing as we can't even kill each other, as old Chronos himself can attest. Oh well, plenty of work for me.
Made it through.
In my creative life, I have my doubts. Would it invite more problems than it solved? I would be curious to see. Thus my experiment continues to unfold. Its outcome, yet uncertain.
Almighty chaos, with your experiments so vast in scope, what can one individual achieve? The quandary you mentioned when first we met, what would you have me do?
Spawn of Hades, I ought to clarify I do not care for idle talk. Ask me no questions. Respond only when prompted, or when necessary in the absolute. But above all, do as you will.
What's up? How'd you get all those other shades out there to do the busy work around here anyway? They practically worship the ground you walk on.
Headmistress took them in. I helped train and communicate with them. Many came from being trapped between the realms. Some never got a proper burial. Others died unfulfilled or violently. They never made it to the underworld.
Oof, that's rough. Say, you don't think I fall into one of those categories there, do you?
It's not a laughing matter, Dora.
Next time you got something to say about me, you come say it to my face. No, you witches would much rather sneak around, though.
What are you even talking about? I think you're being accusatory and abrasive. There, I said that to your face.
Odysseus tried giving me one of his talks, telling me you didn't go complaining to him.
He was concerned with how we're getting on. You're not exactly being subtle, and he's quite perceptive in case you hadn't noticed.
Be quiet.
You've known Headmistress quite a while, haven't you? Where did you meet? I always wanted to ask.
Well, all I can say is that I was alone. At the end of one life and the start of another. Lost. She appeared before me then in all her splendor, and she revealed to me a path I hadn't seen.
That all sounds very figurative. Were you already dead?
I was. She told me she could grant me a new life. She needed a tactician knowledgeable of the surface. I thought, who am I to turn a goddess down? I followed her. It's been a while now.
A good one.
The night is young and I found you already. You don't suppose some of my sister's tracking skill is starting to rub off on me, do you?
Woods of Erebus lie secret clearings, undiscoverable, but through supernatural means.
I knew we'd find this place. Pure water. Oh? Are you lost, little one?
Family's not so good at letting go, is it? After eons of prosperity, all that we've built together threatens to come crashing down, all because of a little bad blood.
So busy, Arachne. Not just all these dresses, but all Erebus is teeming with silken cocoons. You're certain it's all right for me to break them?
Of course, you big silly. What, do you suppose they're teeming with my countless brood? By the time you see a cocoon, anything in there is either for you or was out to get you. Now here. Made this one just for you.
Can't you see my brother and I are in the middle of something?
I heard from Hermes at last, my lord. He didn't get into the details of what he discovered, though perhaps you know more. understand. It's not my wish to pry.
Prompt as ever. Olympus has emboldened you and made you strong. Yet 'tis a fleeting strength. One false step and I could wipe it all away.
I'll take a fleeting strength over no strength at all. We take every advantage that avails itself.
Just so. Then come and show me how you would make use of such advantages.
Again. Get any sleep at least while you're zonked out back there? I can't even wrap my head around what it must be like for you. Sleeping? They say it's like being dead, right? But I'm dead and I'm always awake.
I think the only one getting good sleep of late is Hypnos himself. Still hasn't even stirred, no matter what Headmistress has tried.
Lucky him.
Wondered why Hecate took off all of a sudden. Was just to get in your way, send you crying home. Guess she doesn't want you to succeed.
She expects me to be prepared for whatever lies ahead.
You're such a pushover sometimes.
Thwarted you again out there. 'Tis unfair, I know. I arrive fresh as rain in anticipation of our clash, whilst you may already be battle-worn.
Fairness is a luxury, Headmistress. Though I do sometimes envy your ability to travel such long distances in an instant.
Do not be quick to envy what you do not understand. Along your path are to be found resources and reagents we require. And if you cannot get past me, then you are unprepared for what awaits beyond.
Raining again.
Fates themselves knew Chronos could be overthrown by his own kin. We've done it before, and we're going to do it again. Your assistance in the matter is appreciated.
I once created a similar arrangement with a different spawn of Hades. He was an interesting subject. The interval since last we met grows ever longer now. Do you know his status? Responded.
You mean my brother Zagreus? Chronos took him, along with my parents and their closest associates. They're in the lowest reaches of the underworld, where I am headed now.
I see. Time appears to be the source of many problems recently. As for your brother, I found him to be quite amusing. How interesting that offspring can be so dissimilar.
Saw you get into a scuffle with the great big witch. Why are you fighting? I thought you were on the same side. Oh, I can hardly keep up with everything lately.
Headmistress and I aren't really fighting. Well, no, I suppose we are, except it isn't born of anger or misunderstanding. It's just her way of making certain I'm prepared.
Huh. Well, look, you show her for me the next chance you get, won't you, my friend? And no pressure, but I might be watching just in case. I won't get underfoot, I promise. Enjoy it while it lasts.
I know it's not an easy trip, or even possible for you right now heading all the way up here, but just imagine how hard it is for our family to swallow our pride and ask for aid. Things are that grim.
Compose yourself. Our enemy's strength even exceeds my own. We're both titans, yes, Chronos and I, but he is my elder, as I am yours. What say?
His age doesn't mean anything to me. The old are seldom wise, and often weak. And he did not study under you, Headmistress. Only I have.
Just so. He is an arrogant old fool. The impression of wisdom comes with age more than the real thing. Remember that. Go forward, and may the fates be generous to you in your descent.
Outlasted her.
You seem to know your way around. I am master of this realm, yet even I would never venture into yonder woods. You even found your way back from your detour in Asphodel.
Damn you, Chronos.
The fates cannot help you now. Stop. 'Tis a pity that this granddaughter of mine is both a weakling and a fool, though an elusive one. I ought to thank the fates that we have met at last.
The fates had nothing to do with this. You took my family.
our family. Make not their same mistakes, and in time, we surely shall grow past this halted start to our relation.
Wait!
Yeah? Well, would you look at that? Another would-be suitor journeyed far and wide just to gaze upon me. Not that I blame you. And get totally rejected. Fine. Ogle if you must.
You have the wrong idea. I'm not seeking a mate. I don't even know who you are.
What? I'm Narcissus, dummy. The Narcissus. And if you're no would-be suitor, then why don't you relieve me of one of these innumerable gifts the others offered in vain?
From me to you. Having my food just stuffed into some unmarked sack, I swear. Halfway surprised it didn't burn right through. Sometimes it isn't easy getting hold of you, you know.
A special offer of some sort, my lord. I've returned as much gold as I could, but know full well it isn't easy for you to procure the goods you provide. Why, thank you. Redeemed this at the crossroads, is that it?
Once reverberated the enthralling music of the sirens. Sheer silence now remains. Yet for how long shall those immortal songstresses be stilled?
Doubtless only till my next attempt.
Deep ravine within the fields of morning spreads forth like a gash across the underworld's heart, and even hateful spirits know to stay away.
Need to keep pushing forward, out of here. I heard so much about you, Uncle, but you're not just very strong, you're generous as well. I am grateful, and would give you this.
Little niece, how thoughtful, but deeply unnecessary. Yet now I'm feeling generous, so here, this one's for you.
Well, this is quite a catch.
Where on our green earth do you reside now, niece? It resembles some of Demeter's rolling fields of grain. Who knew old Hades had a pasture growing in the underworld, if but a rather dismal-looking one, as I can tell?
Chronos!
Welcome, my girl. Let yourself in, I see. Through the gutter. This family never had any class. Though I'm working on alleviating that within this house, if you would pardon all the dust. We have been renovating around here.
Get up. You get up off that stolen throne. You know who I am, and you know why I'm here.
A family with no class and no civility either. Have I not made clear to you that your attempt to do me harm shall be in vain? I am a deathless Titan. You merely are a poor, misguided girl.
Hear me, you enemy of night and darkness now. For your transgressions you shall imminently die. Under chthonic doctrine this I vow, for there is no escape from fate beneath the sky.
Manners. Cursing is forbidden in this house. By that token, fighting is forbidden as well. But for you, my girl, we shall have to make an exception. Time for you to go.
Reached the house, headmistress. Did everything as practiced and as planned, except he was too strong.
No, this is an excellent result. You are still here, having learned more of what it takes to reach our enemy and what he can do to resist. Do you feel ready to continue your pursuit?
Yes. If I can reach him, I can take him.
Take him.
Saying you got all the way to Tartarus before. How far'd you get? Make it all the way back to your right?
If you're referring to the House of Hades, then yes, I did make it there. Though you could best describe it as the House of Chronos at this point. He was waiting within just as expected, and was strong, just as expected too.
Too strong, you mean? Well, can't fault you for trying. So what's the plan now? Keep throwing yourself at him till you're totally demoralized? If that...
The task remains the same.
Fair enough.
Found him, goddess. Your look says it all, along with my reports. Gave him something to remember you by, I reckon, even if the battle didn't go your way.
Chronos was exactly where we expected, but I could not foresee his every technique, and my ability to withstand his magic went only so far.
Well, fortunately for you, the old are often rather slow to learn. You run into him a few more times like that, you'll soon know every trick he's got. Though, do be very careful out there.
Aye.
The piece showed you.
Commander, you once held a place of honor in my father's house, so you must know Cerberus, right? I found him in the morning fields, coated in miasma, heads to paws. Was he always prone to uncontrolled fits of rage?
Oh, no, he mostly sat around. We go way back, it's just... I kept strategically afar, seeing as he's kinda like a dog and I'm kinda like a bone. So now he's giving you some trouble, huh?
It's not his fault. Chronos must have cast him from the house, put him out to pasture. I broke through all the grime and calmed him down, but he may need another cleansing soon.
He never did like bears, just so you know.
Uncle Poseidon, it is an honor to have earned your blessing, especially for all the battles still to come.
Well, I'm left to wonder who it was that taught you such good manners, niece. You're like a proper little lady. I'm impressed. We never used to have much contact with your father. So when Hades ceased communicating with Olympus, we figured he was back to his old ways. Turns out that old sneak Chronos got him. There was nothing we could do.
Great Aphrodite. You must get more offerings than all the other gods and goddesses combined, though this one comes from me.
Why, this is wonderful, and also quite impressive. You already know our ways. I must return the gesture, so please take this. I insist.
I can't say no to such a lovely gift.
So you're the star student of Great Hecate. A little birdie told me she'd been training up a real prodigy. Imagine my surprise when it turned out to be the missing princess of the underworld. How positively scandalous.
Thing I said about your weapon first we met. In my defense, ain't often I see workmanship superior to mine. Though don't go telling anyone I said as much.
For beauty and for objects of desire in a world such as this. The goddess Aphrodite must think so, and you work out as allies. I believe it a worthwhile cause. This world was born of a certain desire after all.
Is Millenoi. Know that I can cure them for you, and you know that I shall not. Not here. It brings me no pleasure.
My injuries are teachings, Headmistress. I could have been more careful getting here. Now I face the consequence.
Correct. Stand tall and fight me then. Use well your last remaining strength.
Never even spoken with Commander Skelemius, Dora. Or Odysseus. We have these great masters on our side who know so much of history. So much they can teach us.
History? That what they call it nowadays? Well, I don't have big plans to go to war with the rest of you anytime soon, though if I change my mind, I'll probably check in with those guys.
They're good people. Wanted you to have this, Dora. To the best hunter in all the crossroads.
See, I knew you were gonna pull this gift custom thing on me sooner or later, so I have come prepared. Catch.
For me? Thank you, Dora. Hail, Spirit.
You invoke me?
These shipments shall be very valuable to us. We remain, as ever, in your debt, Charon. May swift Hermes hasten your voyages across the realms, wherever he may be. And until we meet again, shadows conceal you.
Thank you for the supplies, my lord.
Something to report. A word of caution, goddess. In regard to an impediment you may confront when finally you reach the far end of the morning fields. Reports suggest it's some sort of infernal beast. A big one. Our shades had to stay very far away.
I can corroborate our Shade's reports, and add that this infernal beast is none other than Cerberus, my father's household pet, acting on instinct and pure rage.
I feared as much, for they said the beast had several fire-spitting maws. I don't suppose he recognized you after all this time and let you pass?
He did neither of those things. Strictly business between you and Lord Charon, isn't it? Never seen you speak.
You might technically have a brother, but you don't know what it's like having one around. Charon doesn't like to talk. I respect that.
Truly? He never seems to mind speaking with me in his way.
Maybe it's 'cause you're special.
Commander, Lord Charon's come to visit us. At last our supply lines are secure, and our counter-assault begins.
Yeah. It's been quite some time since good Lord Charon visited us last. We'd better all be on our best behavior around him. But, where'd you get all that supply line stuff?
Why, he told me himself, sir. In his way.
Oh.
Mistress, guide me.
Our family scattered to the winds a bit, my niece. You've heard from those of us upon this mountaintop, but Zeus sent several of his children to take care of things down closer to the base. They're probably just fine.
You have been visited by Lord Poseidon. The waters that he claims are his. They were among the first of my creations, and turned out rather well, I think. I wonder if he comprehends the extent of the power they conceal.
When we used to spar, almost never got a clean hit in on you. You'd always slip out of the way.
What choice did I have? One clean hit from you was more than I could take back then. But I've been practicing.
You're tougher, yeah. Though by how much? How about I hit you right now, and if you can take it, you'll get this nice reward I found. Say no more. Catch.
Cheers.
Our Uncle Poseidon's affable veneer is a ferocity I've learned to carefully avoid. If he's backed you with his ocean strength, you're better off. Go make the most of it.
Brain about those fancy silver weapons of yours. Trying to sort out who exactly could have made such things. Or when. They're nocturnal arms, ain't they? Meant only as a last resort, but here we are, I reckon.
You don't truly think I weave all those cocoons you see out there myself, do you? I weave faster than anyone, though even I'm not that quick.
That does make sense. So instead you command a massive hidden army of spiderlings, standing at the ready to do your bidding?
Oh no, most of them hang upside down rather than stand. Oh, come now, I'm not the only spider in the woods. The others keep to themselves. But they do listen sometimes, I suppose. Now you enjoy, all right?
But spiritually, more is to be done. The altar of ashes. There is an incantation that may make your nightly meditations at it better spent.
The consecration of ashes.
She trained relentlessly for this.
I thought that I might find you here, my girl. Such fire in your eyes. How obstinate the members of our family can be. Have you learned nothing from our previous exchange?
Oh, I learned plenty, and I'm eager to learn more. So why don't you get out of my way, since there's nothing you can do within these woods but try to slow me down.
Past the point of reason and so very self-assured. Then very well. Come find me if you must and learn some more. You know where I reside. I do not hide from gods.
See you soon.
Excuse me? I have one rule, and that's look, but don't touch, okay? In fact, why don't you stand a little farther back? And also tell me how come you keep showing up like this?
I've some affairs to settle in the lower reaches of the underworld. Thought I'd take this rather scenic route through this chamber of yours.
Oh, it isn't my chamber. I just find the waters here particularly clean and reflective, and far fewer would-be suitors than an asphodel. Remember to take a gift before you go.
She came. Just can't get enough of us, can you, lady? Oh, it's okay. Happens to everybody, especially sailors. We're just that good. Do you sail?
Your self-confidence is enviable, but I'm only here because I have to get past this ridiculous stage. So why don't we skip the show?
Oh, I got a better idea. Why don't we start the show? All we needed was a little audience, and we've got you right where we want you.
Tinged chamber that the shrilly singing sirens made their own. A pathway plunges deep into the unknown outskirts of the underworld.
So this is Skiller's little lair, huh?
Last few nights since you got started, all I managed to confirm is Gramps got hold of someone whom he's sure gives him the upper hand. Right now, he's readying the next stage of his plan to bring this mountain down. I better go.
Light pierces this dismal region normally, but for you, little star, I shall not hesitate to pierce the heavens and the earth alike. Together,
Well before you did. Cleaned up too. Makes you mad, I know. Don't hold back. Let's see how strong you really are.
I don't want to fight you, Nemesis. I don't even want to speak with you right now.
Not asking you to fight me. Asking you to hit me. See if you can even make me budge. It'll be worth your while. Let me have it. Okay, relax.
Beyond awaits the monstrous hound of hell, no longer watchful of the underworld's gates, but now grown desperate to return to his grim master, wherever he resides.
Poor Cerberus. You'll soon feel better, Cerberus, I swear. B. Cerberus.
Another tormentor come to break me, or to try. And such a frail one at that. Has the Titan Lord a lack for decent help?
You... Are you... the master of this beast?
The master of this beast? Well, if I'm to be remembered, I could think of far worse ways than that. Though this beast has yet to so much as snarl at you.
Lord Hades, you're my... father. I'm... Milinui. I'm your daughter.
My daughter? Milinui? Merciful fates. You cannot be here. He shall find you. He'll find you and...
I'll slay him where he stands. He's in the area, is he not?
He's in my blasted house. Where you were meant to be, and I. Look at me, daughter. I cannot confront him on my own. What do you expect shall happen?
I expect he'll underestimate me. Father, let me free you from these bonds.
No. No, that would bring greater ruin, nothing more. Now get out of this place. Then let me lend to you what strength I still possess.
Cerberus yet guards his master dutifully, having discovered him within these depths.
Stay back. Got it.
Pure glimmering gold. A metal shunned by the true king of the underworld, not just for its softness, or because it was favored by his Titan father. A stark reminder of a bygone age.
It's shiny, but so what? Here you are.
Proud family, this one. Uncle Poseidon here forgoes full armor on account that he's too quick and too thick-headed, thick-skinned, I mean to say. Ain't that the case, Uncle?
Come, nephew, you know how much I value your craft. Even if I'd not be caught dead wearing much of it myself. It's just, only a coward goes to battle clad in plating head to toe. A coward far more likely to withstand his wounds, but still. No underworld bookman yet eludes the grasp of Chronos, does he? Turn to a life of the piratical smuggler in these dark times, huh?
Here in fathomless Tartarus, the god's cruel predecessor Chronos commands his renegade forces, maneuvering against Olympus whilst holding the underworld in his thrall.
Olympus can't get to him here.
The fates cannot help you now. You slipped through my fingers before, only to return and give to me another opportunity to add you to my collection. Did Athena truly get all the wisdom in our family?
Your collection. You speak of your kin as objects to be put on display. The gods ought to have put you on display after cutting you to pieces, instead of discarding you like common filth.
You know, I'm still rather sore about all that. I truly thought my children would be different. That they would show their elders some respect. But they did not. And my tolerance has its limits.
I found him, Headmistress. My father. Chronos has him locked away in Tartarus. But I couldn't save him. He asked I leave him be.
Truly? How utterly predictable of Chronos to gloat in such a way. I regret that your reunion with Lord Hades thus transpired. Though I am gladdened you discovered him. How does he fare?
I really wouldn't know. He seemed sound of mind and body, and he knew me soon enough. Gave me what blessing he could still bestow. What can we do?
If he asked you leave him be, then 'tis evidence he wishes to remain unseen. Use full discretion and be brief should you encounter him again. And I shall see about ensuring Chronos remains ignorant of your newfound connection.
By your leave.
I heard your efforts to bring Cerberus back to his senses were successful. At least temporarily, Goddess. He bounded off to Tartarus only to be cast out into the fields again.
That's what I gathered, yes. In Tartarus he seeks his master, my father, whom I happened upon bound in chains. Chronos is torturing them, mocking them.
Chronos is using them to get at you, instill in you emotions that compel you to throw caution to the wind. Remember, wars are won and lost in hearts and minds.
Did you not act on your emotions in your mortal day?
Well, yes. I always did.
Believe you got to Chronos before me. Knew you stood no chance against him, but didn't think you'd get there at all anytime soon.
Is that supposed to be some sort of compliment? Or an apology, perhaps?
No.
Step on the path.
The old storage case. So, it's an heirloom from my family?
That it is, and for as long as I can recollect. Look upon it knowing that the burden which you bear, you need not bear alone. Plus it'll keep your keepsakes all in one handy spot.
A symbol of the gift-giving custom of Olympus, then. A tradition that now falls to us.
Forth, I bid you do as does the shark, my niece. Surely you know the shark? A hunting fish that swiftly surges ever forward in relentless pursuit of its prey.
The fate's designs for us perhaps are intertwined, for we each seek our close kin. I have lost contact with my spawn and daughter Nyx, who resided in your father's house. Her influence remains, yet I feel her absence.
Literally, what happened to you there? You're barely hanging on. Though, let me see if I can't help you find your footing.
We've been locked in conflict with Chronos for so long that we've begun to doubt that anything can meaningfully change. I wonder, Flower, can you truly rid us of this blight?
Her foes all vanquished to the last. Impenetrable gloom surrounds the underworld princess that not even her infernal eye can easily discern what horrors lie therein.
If I can't see into the shadows, I'll cut through.
Gold in the underworld, right in its veins. But Chronos turned it into little coins. All over the damn place now.
Lord Charon's going to take care of it soon enough. I give him all the gold I find. Trade for his wares.
I think I can do the same if you want to make a deal. Don't worry, any gold I get from you, Charon gets from me.
I'll take it.
It's a deal.
Some bones for later use. Would you indulge me for a moment, boatman? If we're to restore the old order around here, I was thinking why not start like this? Wait, are you certain there's no charge for this? May moonlight guide us. You were able to reach the House of Hades before me, my lord. Doubtless why that final stretch was clear. You must know I was unable to prevail. Just have to give it another go, won't we? Thank you for your support.
Silk is everything to me. It's stronger than it looks. Keeps me safe. It can suffocate even the strongest prey. Don't you like it? Is there a certain pattern, color combination you admire?
It's lovely, Arachne. Look, I wish I could stay and admire it, but...
But you can't. I understand, I truly do. Though it would mean a lot to me if you would take some of my silk with you on your way.
You surpassed me before, yet I wonder, was it your mastery over our craft? Or did the fates themselves perhaps provide a little nudge?
Come, headmistress. If I could be provoked that easily, I'd stand no chance at all. Not even if the fates desired otherwise.
Good fortune seldom comes to those in no position to receive it. Show me your victory was no mere accident. We shall have to do this again some other eve. Return to Shadow now.
Yes. Some silver.
My girl are meddling in matters you do not understand. Your father made certain choices. He was bound by them. But you are not. You need not follow in his ruinous path.
Ruinous? You brought ruin to the underworld and the surface. I'll never accept what you've done. Now enough talk.
How very spirited. You truly think you can stop time? Well then, I would like to see you try.
Then watch this.
Sometimes I wonder, what would it have been like were I not so unbelievably attractive? Some things would have been easier. Not having everybody fall in love with me. Maybe arithmetic.
You're concerned that you're too winsome for your own good. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't find you particularly attractive.
Oh, I know you don't mean that. Though I appreciate you trying to comfort me, as a friend. For you.
Thanks.
Got all the way down to the House of Hades, so I heard. Must be nice having fated authority over the lowest reaches of the underworld. Unless you're Chronos.
He was most certainly annoyed. Wields a scythe that's twice my height, surrounds himself with feral satyr worshippers ready to die for him. I'm not surprised it once took both our fathers and more to bring him down.
No reason to compare yourself. They're high and mighty lords of the heavens and the underworld, but they fought Chronos by necessity. You were trained to do precisely this.
Chronos to Dress all of those golden coins in his own image. The promise of a new golden age, some mortals say. That age has long since passed, and no amount of shining metal shall bring it back.
She's back. Oh, surprised to see us again, lady? Because we're not going anywhere. This is our big comeback tour.
I thought I dealt with you last time, yet here you are. Am I going to have to drive you back into the sea?
Oh, I don't know. Am I going to have to tell Jetty and Roxy to play their hearts out? No, I'm not. Because that's just what they do. Don't you, gals?
Collected works of sailor slaying Scylla and her sirens lie conspicuously scattered here, imparting vengeance on the sensibility of those who dare to take a closer look.
You're such a mess, that little dress. Oh gods.
In the eye of night, watching you grow and train in secrecy, knowing that upon some evening such as this, we Silver Sisters would make our stand. Shall we go?
I mean you no harm.
I mean you no harm. You no harm. No harm. No harm.
That makes two of us. What ails you, Shade? Is there something I could do to ease your burden?
I could ease your burden. Your burden. Your burden.
Lord Hephaestus, your services must be in very high demand. I'm grateful, and doubtless so are the nocturnal arms.
I don't work for tips. Though ours ain't an ordinary arrangement, and ain't often lately I get new regular clients. So here, call it a trade.
I'm in your debt for this, Hephaestus, sir.
Supposedly you're passing through the morning fields along your way down there. Glad I ain't never seen a place like that. Misery's like smoke, gets in your eyes and such. Hard to shake off.
Where's the last one? Machinery. For what?
The exposed inner workings of the infamously interlocking chambers of the underworld are a mass of gold-toothed wheels. A never-ending cycle turning at the Titan's sole behest.
Can hardly concentrate with all this racket.
What are you doing here again? I told you you cannot be here.
And I told you I'd be back for you. Though my priority is Chronos. You vanquished him before. Can you reveal to me any weaknesses? Anything?
I vanquished him with the aid of 5 other gods. What hope have you alone? He has no weakness save his arrogance. And it appears you have that weakness too.
Then it seems we are equally matched. Father, how long have you been this way? Is there aught I can do?
You think I have any sense of time in such a place? And I've said already what you can do. Risk not your everything. Go now, and be unseen.
Again, our journeys intertwine. Why did you call upon me, Princess? Did you not receive the artifact I brought you from the Fates?
Lord Moros, I did receive the fated list, and summoned you once more as it ordained. All children of Nyx are welcome where I reside. Might we speak further there? I have many questions.
I don't know whether I can answer them, as my own search for truth has not been going well of late. But I'll not decline your cordial invitation. Please lead the way.
Then follow me.
I shall.
Oh, where did he go?
You look rough, if we're being honest, Mel. Want to talk about it? Or at least tell me the juicy bits because I'm bored?
Last night I visited the morning fields, and being surrounded by that much despair, I think I must have brought some of it home.
Well, why don't I just...
Scare it out of you, you wretched worm!
Hey, that worked.
I know, right?
we've not met formally. I'm the official bearer of bad news. The Witch of the Crossroads apprised me of the situation here, and was gracious to invite me to stay for now.
You're welcome here and safe, Lord Moros. So then you know of my task.
To vanquish the usurper of the House of Hades seems more than a task. I regret this burden is yours to bear, and much sooner than expected.
It's all right. I was born for this. Lord Moros has arrived. Now what? It is done. Yes, Lord Charon. You'll have what gold I may find, as I require what supplies you may spare.
Charon's latest haul, goddess. Shipment by the riverside. All yours. And we're watching the rivers, making certain this won't be the last.
Lord Charon risks aiding my efforts in such a direct way. Are we able to compensate him at all?
Aye, with what gold we've gathered recently. He really means to melt down every last one of those Chronos coins we can get our hands on.
Oh, yes.
Disciples, there's a tale. You're beginning to fill out that keepsake storage case, young one. Fine work, yet I must caution you not to collect just for collecting's sake.
The act of giving is its own intangible reward. Nectar sours when it's offered with impure intent.
Won't have impure intent on my damn training grounds.
I believe that I am an impartial being, spawn of Hades. However, even I can be provoked, as Chronos soon shall come to realize. Our experiment concerns his fate. If he believes that he can change his fate, then so may we.
Boy, that is Zorifet the Moonstone axe, all right. Though not expected ever to lay eyes on it. Some mortals worship the Labyrinth, you know. Here, let's give them something to believe in. This is just a service job, no need to get all cordial and the like. Nice gesture from you, though. So cheers and all.
In the name of Hades.
Just... You don't need to look at me like that. You don't need to look at me at all. Look at the fineries I've made. Silk in every shape and color, see? It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is, Arachne. But to think I could have wronged you with an inadvertent glance just now. It's just I'm concerned for your safety out here.
Oh, there's no need for that. You see, my form included certain benefits. I get to live a long, long time to enjoy it. Besides, just because you found me here doesn't mean just anybody can. How does that feel?
I think I like it.
May it keep you safe.
That's a sight. You bearing down on me with that gigantic moonstone axe. Wasn't certain you'd prefer that one.
Zorifet is weightier than the other arms, but having an axe such as this in woods such as these has been convenient overall.
Well, much as I hate to inconvenience you, I must. Although that monstrous thing suggests this oughtn't take too long. Impressive show of force. Hold nothing back as you continue on.
I am time itself. What are you? A thrall of those calling themselves gods, mindlessly serving at their whim. My children are crafty. To them, you are nothing but a common tool, and not an especially sharp one, it appears to me.
This calls me little brother when we're twins. At least she never comes home empty-handed from her hunts. Just recently she found a family relative and ally, poised to strike behind enemy lines. You are quite the prize.
Sure. Don't the vicious creatures contaminating these chambers make this a rather dangerous place in which to laze about?
Oh, I've made clear to them that they don't stand a chance with me at all. In my position, it's not good to send mixed messages, both for my suitors' sakes and for my own. Take care.
Thank you.
Showtime. Oh, you keep trying to kill me, lady. The former sea nymph side of me says just forget it and move on. But I don't like to listen to her anymore.
That you don't listen to yourself explains a lot. I know better than to try and kill an Oceanid, former or not. I just need you to get out of my way.
Hear that, gals? I distinctly heard the lady say, I need you there. Oh, our art changes lives. Let's say we change this one right now.
Who sniffed you out, was it? Seems like an awful big coincidence. But then we're gods. These things, they happen all the time. I'll say I'm glad she found you when she did.
Down.
If the might of Olympus were sufficient, the gods would have already put an end to their predicament. Time itself is against us, yet this is precisely the time for which we Silver Sisters have prepared.
Who are you, may I ask?
Who are you, may I ask? May I ask? May I ask?
Well, I can sense you're of no danger to me, so... I am Melinoi. Family business down in Tartarus. And you are... Do I hear an echo?
I am Echo. Echo. Echo.
I won't forget this echo.
Thank the fates. You're late. Already took care of things here, though you'll still get your share, I'm sure.
If you insist on trying to hunt Chronos down, why don't we work at it together at least?
Can't be seen with you, and don't need your help besides. But I get you need mine, so here. Take this, and you never saw me. Got it?
You're not supposed to know, just so you know. I tell Olympus all the latest happenings, nothing too private, mind, and then I tell you more. Just keeping tabs on everyone, I guess.
What? Father?
I know not how you withstood the Titan if truly you confronted him. Quickly now.
Am I... well... All my life I've been preparing for this moment, to bring the usurper of the House of Hades to justice. So, I'll have to get back to you, depending on how it goes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Get back to me if you must. I'd grant your vengeance if I could. But this is all that I can do for now.
This feared underworld king resembles now the wretched and the damned that here was shackled in his stead, until the scheming Titan Chronos cut them loose.
Unforgivable. I'm home.
Hello again, my girl. You are proving to be quite a nuisance. If only because you insist on continually setting loose your father's wretched old three-headed cur. To think how such a beast used to be kept within these walls.
So you keep casting out poor Cerberus into the morning fields, where he rages alone, of all your unforgivable offenses.
What would you have me do? I do not require him to guard the gates to this realm, for they are open wide. And I certainly do not require him to shed everywhere. Though bloodshed, I accept.
The task began immediately following reports that Chronos found a way to gain the upper hand against Olympus. We just didn't know which sort of way. But now I think I do. Your sisters, the three fates. He got them, didn't he? Is that why you're here?
You ask while making clear to me that you already know. I ought to have been there when it happened. Perhaps the Fates knew I lacked the strength to protect them, so they protected me.
How did he find them? What does he want from them?
I don't know how he found them. Few beings with knowledge of their whereabouts exist. As to what he wants from them, and this is a conjecture of my own, surely he'll try to influence their weavings from here on.
Oh.
The widely hated, feared embodiment of doom goes wherever the ever-weaving fates decide, and none but they can anticipate.
He sure knows how to make an entrance. I dreamt of Father once again, when Chronos came for him, and you took me to safety. Except this time, I remained there longer than before.
'Tis more than a dream, of course. And what else did you learn whilst you lingered thus?
I learned Chronos wanted for Father to tell him where to locate the three fates. Chronos hates them, or feels threatened by them. He's been searching for them all this time, hasn't he? And finally found them.
Which means they may not take our side if forced to choose. I feared as much, yet didn't wish to lend the possibility my voice. Well, this certainly fits the spirit of the news Swift Hermes relayed when he spurred us to act. Something real bad, I believe were his words.
Real bad. Yes. Nyx, my lord. I saw her lately in a nightmare or a dream. She was very beautiful, and she was unharmed, I think. We're going to find her. I swear it. My dreams, Nem. Your mother was there, and my father. He showed concern for her. She was under the Titan's spell.
Mother Nyx made a mistake in trusting Hades with so much of the underworld. This realm was never his by right, not till the Fates decided otherwise. Mother worked hard. They were probably just trying to send her help.
You're saying the Fates granted my father authority over the realm of the dead just to give Nyx a hand with all her responsibilities?
That's right.
Huh.
Hold everybody. Silver, the monstrous power of the Moonstone Axe is yours. There isn't much out there it couldn't chop clean through, including me.
It's got some heft. Great Hephaestus, your work is beyond compare, and I'm grateful for your candor with me as well. Please, take this offering.
Anytime I get an offering, it's because somebody wants something from me. You're already getting premium service, but hey, it's your nectar. Mine now, I reckon. Normally it'd be otherwise Athena who'd be first to greet you and make nice, but she's been busy putting all my arms and armor to the test. Good news is the testing's going well.
I shall hold Chronos to account for what has come to pass. But I am not without blame myself, for I fear that I made present matters worse. You shall see whether any such mistakes can be corrected.
Journey sends you through the morning fields. I've seen that place. Just dreadful, utterly. All of the wheat there, I thought perhaps it would provide a bit of cheer.
I don't remember anymore what it was like, having two legs. Only the two. I'm hideous, I know, but I don't fall over myself like I once did. Second nature now, scurrying about.
Don't speak that way. My task would go much faster if I had legs like yours, Arachne.
Save your pity for another soul, my friend. Now then, I've saved some of my softest silk for you.
Told me about you, I couldn't help but think of Demeter. She couldn't be there for your mother when Chronos struck, but I know she'll do everything she can for you.
Brilliant as always, cousin.
Scratch. A chill swept through the air as you approach. Unseasonably cold. Or perhaps it is as Demeter desires. She aids you, does she not?
She does. She knew me for her granddaughter at once. Have you had opportunity to speak with her about me and all that's transpired?
No. I've been a bit preoccupied. At least here, Demeter shall be able to cool her wrath against me for keeping you a secret for so...
Which rock did you crawl out from under, hmm? My forces, they are terribly confused. They have no idea where you live. So I thought I would attempt asking you nicely here.
I live in your nightmares, Titan. I thrive on them. I'll see you dead, and then destroyed. However long it takes.
However long it takes. You speak of inevitability, little one. A subject on which I happen to be the expert. As to whomever sent you after me, I shall find them.
We'll see.
In the sopping, blackest pits of Oceanus reside horrors that the greatest mortal or immortal poets could not possibly describe.
Don't sell yourself short, Homer.
Somehow got hold of the three fates. That isn't good. Not sure what we can do about it, Em. At least now everybody on Olympus knows. I figured it was time. Got us a bit on edge, though we do hide it pretty well.
Hey, girls! Oh, always wanted to sing in front of a great big crowd, you know? And not just a bunch of crusty sailors, but like one of those gigantic amphitheaters they got up on land.
Not my area of expertise. Do performances in these amphitheaters typically involve attempts to drown the members of the audience?
Oh, yeah. Immortals show up today in massive droves, kicking and screaming just to get a glimpse. Yet you get a show all to yourself.
Amid the overgrowth near to the lowest reaches of the underworld lurk the innumerable souls who cling to shreds of love and hope that long since ceased to be.
It's rather bleak down here. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? It's me, all right, Echo. I don't know how come you've been assisting me, but I'm a long way from home and could use all the help I can get going farther. Help going farther. Going farther. Going farther. Take care now. Take care.
The underworld's pulsing, winding river Styx cuts through the edges of the sorrow-spreading fields, connecting to the depths of Tartarus below.
This truly is the Styx. Then I'm so close.
All bound in chains of hardest adamant, the erstwhile lord and master of the dead now is a prisoner within the realm the fates themselves decreed was his by right.
I'm sorry, Father. Father, while I know this wasn't necessarily permitted, I thought if maybe it would be of any comfort at all, that I might offer you this nectar.
Exactly like your brother, last. I fear I'm not in any mood or state for such a thing. Concern yourself not with my comfort, but with the target of your wrath.
In shadow I serve.
To shadow you return.
When Chronos took our family and the house, and you bade the Witch of the Crossroads take me, I remember it somehow, or dreamt of it. Did he demand you tell him of the fates?
How could you possibly? He did. Perhaps the fates themselves permitted you that bit of insight. He did his worst to discover where they hide, though would have failed, even if I did possess the knowledge that he sought.
Wait, you never told Chronos how to find the fates? Then how did he? Because he's captured them. Not long ago, perhaps, but nonetheless, I'm certain of it.
Ha! this is true, well then my father's plan for conquest is much closer to fruition than I thought. I do not know how he could find the Fates, but if they can do nothing against him now, daughter, what chance do you have?
I draw you down, O moon. Lend me your light.
I know through your headmistress of your vision in which Chronos found and captured the three Fates. This must have been a key component of his plan, but it does not change ours. The Silver Sisters never cede control. The choice is yours. Moonwater. It is yours.
And Charon's been more than keen to oblige. Bit of an odd fellow, but then, aren't we all?
Adequate. I have the gold.
You wretched child. Like father, like daughter, then, is it? 3, 2, 1. I thought none could resist the ravages of time. But you, how?
You'll get no answers from me, and no mercy either. Now die already, and I'll collect the ichor from your veins, or whatever flows through them.
What is death to the deathless? A mere nuisance. This house is mine. Once I am gone, you shall be cast away.
I expect so. And you'll be remade and back on the throne before I can return. But I shall return, and I'll slay you again and again and again if I must.
Even if, in so doing, it meant that you would never see your dear old family again. Because the mercy I have shown to them thus far is something I may have to reevaluate.
Our family. And what do I care? I don't even know them. But I do know you will be dead here in another moment.
For you, my girl? No. None for now. Time cannot be stopped.
The gutted grand hall of the former House of Hades eerily lies still. Knowing the immortal Titan shall return, the Dark Princess pursues an object that may be the key to her predicament. Thus did Melenoi, the Underworld's vengeful daughter, cross the deepest reaches of her realm to thwart her ancient, hateful foe. The Titan Chronos. Time itself, and time supposedly cannot be stopped. A claim the princess has her reasons to dispute. Hers is a tale that shall withstand time, yet it requires time as well. For now, a cruelly abrupt end shall have to do.
No! Return to Shadow now.
You're back. Now tell me everything. You found your mark. What then?
I reached the edge of Tartarus and made my way into the house, just as we planned. Chronos was there, on my father's throne. We clashed. He lost. But I know he isn't gone. and I was unable to linger there for long.
Truly. And you retrieved something from him, I see. We were never going to destroy him with brute force alone, but soon enough, he may yet be undone entirely. Until then, study him. And I shall study what you found.
By study him, you mean find him again and fight him? Weaken him? Distract him?
Precisely that. Oh, by the way, something awaits you in the training grounds. You proved beyond a doubt that you're prepared.
You know already, don't you, my lord? About the three fates. That Chronos has your sisters in his thrall. Lord Moros is safe with us, at least. Do you truly think so?
You got there. Come here to gloat, I bet. I beat him. I beat the Titan. Well, hardly matters. He's still alive, you realize, don't you?
I wasn't coming here to gloat, and yes, I realize. But this is still a step. If I could vanquish Chronos once, I can do it again. And one of these nights, he's not going to come back.
Yeah, 'cause one of these nights I'll get my hands on him myself.
Then you can do the gloating, right? Odysseus out checking on reports.
Heard the good news. How far were you able to go last night, Princess? You were gone for some time. I sensed the growing fear and excitement in the air. Even heard some of the rumblings.
If the rumblings were that I reached the depths of Tartarus, broke into my father's stolen house, confronted Chronos there and outfought him, then you heard correctly. Hardly a final victory, but still.
I would object to anyone but you diminishing such a victory. Is this not a vitally important component of the task you've been entrusted to complete?
Well, yes it is, but...
Then congratulations, and may the fates of it...
It can't be. That's... the Oath of the Unseen.
See anything that wasn't here? Your eyes do not deceive. Near the gateways out of here, you'll find none other than the Oath of the Unseen, I think it's called. Ask me not whence it came. Instead, ask just how tough you really are.
I earned the right to look upon the oath, the testaments of night. Do I dare speak the vows, and thereby spread the fear that darkness brings?
Come on, what are you, scared? Those nocturnal arms you got, they're probably gonna love that fear and testament type stuff. I say give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen?
All mortal kind condemned to never-ending torment and despair? Get out of my head.
Fear me. Getting crowded out there. More shades, guy with the horns. I don't like him, Al. Not one bit.
As we grow in numbers, we grow in strength. What's your concern with that?
Don't like to share? Except this tent. I don't mind sharing it with you. Most of the time.
I'm honored.
If I may, Princess, the fated list of minor prophecies, have you been able to make use of it?
I have. Thank you for bringing it to me. So then the fates already know what's going to happen in all this? Everything I'm going to do?
Well, yes and no. The fated list says as little of your future as necessary. I briefly was its host myself and saw there but a single prophecy, that I would pass it on to you.
Then that's a prophecy fulfilled. Chronos was waiting for me again outside of Erebus. This time I recognized him right away, but I could do nothing against him.
Wily bastard. Arrogant to the last. So then, he knows of you. What did he say?
He thanked the fates that we had finally met, as though he'd been searching for me all this time, and told me not to make the same mistakes as my family.
Eject that poisoned memory from your mind. He knows nothing of the fate's designs. I shall reinforce all our protective sorceries, and you... fear not your enemy. Slay him.
Evening. So Doom has come to stay with us a bit. My last and only other brush with him did not resolve particularly well, so I'll just keep my distance if that's quite all right.
All children of Nyx are welcome in these crossroads. Though I think Lord Moros wishes to keep his distance too.
No objections here.
And about? A nemesis, about the dream I had. Chronos, he demanded that my father tell him where the Fates reside.
Smart. Mother Nyx never would have told him. The Fates may be my sisters, but even I have no idea where they are. Long as they're hidden, no one can mess with their designs.
You don't sound especially concerned that Chronos apparently found the three Weavers of Destiny and may be forcing their plans for the future.
Really? I ever give you the impression I had any hope this would end well?
How could he have found them? Wouldn't the Fates see the threat coming?
They're always weaving. That means even they know only so much in advance. Chronos is time. Time moves faster than expected.
How strange to be encountering this brother of mine here. So then he truly hasn't stirred at all?
Not once. Headmistress Hecate says Hypnos was already fast asleep when she recovered him from my father's house. You never visited him there before?
It wasn't my place. We each come from big families, don't we? Odd families. You know how it is.
I'm beginning to, yes.
How many cousins I got, but you're another, eh? You're getting special treatment only because me mum and dad, they asked me real nice. Don't mind the extra work.
You again. Vanquished. Olympus.
All this flotsam about Chronos abducting the three Fates. Impossible. A ploy to take us off our guard. Don't go believing everything you hear, my niece.
The Cocytus winds through endless misty passageways, the wailing souls within its languid waters, all denied their eternal rest.
Reminds me of home. Lord Charon, Moros returned. He's joined us at the crossroads. Now we've no fewer than 3 mighty sons of Nyx within our ranks. Granted, one's always fast asleep. Forgive me, I must not have understood. Hypnos is of greater use this way.
Just when I thought I had you, you've seized control of the fight. Well fought. Return to Shadow now.
Thank you, Headmistress. The Titan.
You. If there is one thing on which the accursed Fates and I agree, it is that all eventually shall decay. All sprang from nothingness, and back into that chaos we shall all return. You merely hurry it along.
Before? Normally it's not too big a deal. But Gramps has something else in mind this time. Got some individuals here pretty spooked.
And we're off.
Boo. Wait, so the horned guy over there, he's the one who shows up whenever some mere mortal is about to die in some horrific, unexpected way?
Well, yes. He ensures the will of the 3 Fates is done. But don't misjudge him for it, and there's no need to be afraid of him either.
Are you kidding? I think that's awesome. I wonder if he saw me die. Maybe I got crushed by a boulder, struck by lightning, murdered by my own lover. Could you introduce us?
Sure.
Hello.
Lord Moros, you said before you think Chronos is going to influence the weavings of the fates. You mean he's going to try to change the future? Force a favorable outcome?
Yes. I think he's already trying to do just that. Unfortunately for him, the three fates can be a bit headstrong. I trust they may be quite resistant as captives.
I can't imagine Chronos tolerating insolence, whether from your sisters or anybody else. How he must hate them. When he was overthrown before, that was the outcome of a fated prophecy.
Indeed. As for now, I sense there are no weavings happening at all. No new futures foretold. Chronos believes he has no prophecy to fear. Yet I believe this is an opportunity for you to make a better future for us all.
May you have pleasant dreams for as long as you slumber. And if and when you finally wake, know that this nectar shall be waiting for you. Welcome to the... Wait, welcome to the what? Rest easy, son of Nyx.
You travel to the surface, knowing full well the fates decided long ago that those of your line could not survive there and would always be forced back to the underworld.
Their curse was palpable. I never intended to stay for long, just long enough to lend my relatives support. But it seems your sisters insist that I do no such thing.
Well, I don't see them around right now, do you? Incidentally, there was once an incantation that I happened upon, which was not intended for my eyes, but I now choose to think that it was intended for yours. Farewell.
Unraveling a fateful bond. I couldn't breathe. Thank you for visiting me last night, Lord Moros. So, hypothetically, if I were to complete a certain incantation that somehow loosened the grip the three fates have on my birthright, how angry would they be?
Please understand, Princess, that I am not at liberty to give advice on matters such as that, not even hypothetically. I trust I've been sufficiently direct in putting it this way?
In other words, we shouldn't be talking about this at all, and I assume all risk for my actions related to any potentially forbidden incantations that I've learned.
Yes, that covers it.
Visited the surface. I can't imagine that played out particularly well. At least you made it back at all.
It was draining. Even at night, something about being under the stars, I didn't know there were so many. It was more than I could take. You were right.
A lesson learned and an experience gained. The fates themselves do not want you up there. What shall you do?
I have an incantation to complete. I don't need to stay forever on the surface. I just need to hold on long enough to make it to Olympus.
Ah, then you seek to improve this aspect of yourself without rejecting it outright. I see how that may work.
It has to.
Witch always figured you would make your way up to the mortal realm. Once you were ready and the situation called for it. Well done.
She warded the pathway there, until such time as I had the means to pass through. The climate on the surface is another matter.
Your underworld birthright stuff getting in the way? A curse, not just a blessing, it would seem. Well, if your witchery got you this far, surely it can aid with this predicament.
Not up there. They could have called for somebody with experience, but I guess I don't deserve it as much as I thought.
I'm needed there as part of my task. Though they must miss you on the surface. So much suffering.
Justice doesn't matter anymore. The mortals had it coming. Maybe we all did.
To be here, little star. Your cursed blood shall fight your every step. Yet Nyx herself would understand the struggle that you face. She too once thwarted what the fates foretold. Now...
The latest, Witchy, that you're ready for our mountain tippy top. Just don't expect warm welcomes when you get here, as we are a bit preoccupied right now. We're living under the auspices of the old witch of the crossroads, huh? Not met her face to face. Keeps to herself, so I scarce believed it when Apollo said that she'd reached out with something important. Turns out, it was you.
Fates protect.
Hail, Lord Moros. How have you been acclimating so far? Is there something we can do to make your stay more comfortable?
No, Princess. I'm well and acclimating, as you say. I've never been to such a place as this, and making every effort not to be a nuisance here.
You're welcome here.
They're not around to complicate our lives. No wonder my days have become so predictable. Though if Chronos truly is behind this, then perhaps we ought to be concerned.
Called Raval, I think, that skull you got. Ain't exactly my mental picture of a weapon. Liable to give me night terrors, in fact, but then I'll be the first to say, whatever works.
Titan Chronos. He is time itself. Thus, by his nature, we can never be entirely prepared for him. He seeks the downfall of Olympus. But how exactly, we still do not know. Which suits you.
Why, you even got the elusive god of the forge to crawl out of his cave. To think that all it took was this terrible infighting with our forebear to bring our family closer together.
I see. Hey, I don't suppose you happen to see a woodsy goddess stalking through? Greenish attire, wielding a bow about her height?
I know which one you mean, my friend, and I know she's been nosing about. As a rule, I stay away from goddesses like that, even if they are your kin.
Goddesses like what? You make it sound as though you fear Olympus more than you fear Chronos himself.
Oh, I do. It's not Chronos that made me this way. If anything, I've grown more used to it with time. Now go find your woodsy goddess, and be careful not to lead her here, all right?
And Chronos sank your fangs into his throat. Sister Hecate gave me the gist. How'd you do it? Found some exploitable weakness, something like that?
Mostly I just kept evading a lot. He's very powerful, but must have underestimated my ability to resist his tricks.
He won't always underestimate you, though. Must have his vulnerabilities. The old are seldom wise and often weak, right? He's bloodied. Go for the kill.
You could have already stopped Gramps by now, but going after him right when you did, you're buying us some time to put a little wrinkle in his plan. So cheers.
Little spring in my step.
There's not much glory in confronting adversaries one-to-one. I myself invoke shades of the dead to alter the odds. Some may.
Perhaps if I brought with me a legion of animal familiars next time, Headmistress. Not that any beast would bear its fangs at you.
You jest, yet a familiar may be of considerable benefit given all that you have to do. A possibility to think upon once you are rid of me. Animal familiar along next time, if but to keep things livelier for me. We have the means to keep them safe, even in scuffles such as these.
Faith of familiar spirits. They should work on Phrenos, or perhaps... Good find.
Greeting, you yet persist, despite my generous attempts to dissuade you. Then very well. You carry on as the distraction which you are, whilst I turn my attention to matters of greater import.
They say our songs are to die for, but lately we don't get a lot of company. Oh, you wouldn't know anything about that, right? Because somebody's been smearing our good name.
Your reputation is yours to build or ruin. Doubt anyone I know has even heard of you besides.
Come on, gals. Let's go all out again before the crowd shows up. They're going to show up. I just know it. We are Skilla and the Sirens!
Yeah. You know, it's kind of spooky how you never come in through the front flap anymore. Ever think of taking up haunting yourself?
Oh yes. I figure if none of this works out, a lot of us can wander the earth, striking fear into the hearts of any mortals who dare look upon us.
Now we're talking.
I once was desperate to hear the sirens' song. I barely resisted their temptations. Of course, I was merely mortal. Perhaps you're less susceptible to their allure.
Perhaps. At any rate, I fail to see the appeal. Although, it's possible the sirens were better off without Skilla. She seems rather bossy.
She's a menace. Caught half a dozen of my crew like she'd a separate set of teeth for each of the poor lads. We'd little choice but to pray to the gods and sail on. Tell her hello for me.
Did the gods answer your call at least?
For the most part.
Reached the surface, didn't you, Sunshine? I thought your birthright meant you couldn't live up here. You were just full of surprises. So, headed this way? Let me help.
Rainfall there may be of benefit to you, washing all the filth away, revealing new growth. Think you that Zeus himself brings the rain, or Poseidon? Take one more guess.
Do you think Arachne's going to be all right in all of this, my lord? The surface was no longer welcoming or safe for her. And now, I fear that Erebus is not much better off. You're right. She's twice as resourceful as just about anybody. 4 times. Just look out for her, would you?
Charon, one-time steward of the dead, now sculls the rivers of the underworld in aid of those who yet resist the Titan Lord.
What would we do without him? Farewell, Lord Charon.
You frighten my sheep. That's a real no-no in this town.
I apologize for my transgression, Cyclops. What do I owe you for the inconvenience? I can pay.
Oh, you pay. The punishment's getting eaten alive by me. Sorry, I don't make the rules.
That seems unusually strict. There's no use following a senseless code of law.
Only kidding. I do make the rules. And I get real tired only eating sheep. Why you?
And stay down. For me.
Tickles.
That maw. There's no mistaking it.
See all those Chronos ships trudging this way, would you? Most of them already sunk before, over many times. They and their dead crews keep coming back to haunt us. Now that's some dedicated service, eh?
You made it. Hey, sailor. What a coincidence running into you like this so far away from home. Where are you headed? Maybe I could give you a lift.
You know perfectly well where I'm headed. And I can get there on my own, thanks.
You sure about that? Because it looks like you've been having a pretty rough night so far. And it's only going to get worse.
I don't care for your insinuations here, Eris. Speak plain or get out of my way.
Oh, I'll speak plain. You're boring, I don't like you, and you don't get to order me around. How could you be so cruel?
You started it. Golden apple.
The Thus, having overcome the fate-wrought curse confining her to the underworld, the Princess of the Dead ventured out onto the surface realm. Her aim, to reach the mountain of the gods, and there disrupt the massing forces of their crafty foe. Much more's to be told of that in due course, but let us say, for now, she ran into some difficulties here and there.
No! Return to Shadow now.
Oh, finally.
You must remember something of life on the surface, right, Dora? Anything at all? I wonder what it must have been like.
I don't remember, and I don't wonder. Who cares? This is the life right here.
Fools. You prevailed in your attempt, but our enemy is time itself, and 'twould seem that he is not prepared to abdicate his stolen throne as yet.
Prevailed, sure. And yet, I feel as though I've come no closer to achieving our true goal. My task, sometimes I fear, it's impossible.
Impossibility tends to be transient. Time would wear us down, but with patience, we can withstand him until our night arrives at last.
How fared your recent surface sea journey, young one? I still remember well the boundless waters there. How blue and tranquil they were.
Tranquil? My experience was not exactly that.
They were tranquil, damn it.
The family stands united in our cause. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Pleased to make your acquaintance finally, my dear. Already had enough of the surface, yes? Well, I promised the family that once you demonstrated your resolve to us, I'd take you under my wing. And I always keep my vows.
Miss me, Trouble? Thought I'd flit on over for a bit again and see how everybody's doing, since I'm welcome here and safe still, aren't I? Though it has been a little while.
It's not been long enough. Much as I wished you'd grown past your childishness, Eris, I can't imagine you've returned for any reason other than to keep it up.
What, you can't imagine I just want to visit my big sister, if not you? I get it, you're still mad I slowed you down before, but I will not do that again, I swear. So, truce?
We'll see.
Princess, officially I cannot condone your actions. Your visits to the surface violate the terms the fates set for your father's lineage, and you invite whichever consequences they see fit.
Yes, but unofficially, Lord Moros? If you'll permit yourself to speak of it this once. Or are we limited to candid conversations only when I'm on the verge of death?
Our conversations are most definitely more secure that way, but unofficially, I am amazed by your accomplishment. Perhaps living so close to the surface predisposed you, but still, I was uncertain it was possible.
May the fates forgive my transgressions.
Likewise.